Yeah, it's, Mosby, you can go ahead and get the panel in. Just have them to sit anywhere. We don't have nothing left, right? This is the only case that's left?
Yes, Your Honor. I don't, are we,
Well, just go ahead on a minute. Hold
I
on a
didn't know if
minute.
you're granting the continuance or not.
Okay, you're just gonna go ahead and put it on the record.
Is this, is the continuance being denied, Your
Well,
Honor?
let's do this here. Let's call the case. No. Okay, this is cause number 24 CCCR 1280. Case of Style State of Texas versus Brianna Denise Cobos. Ms. Cobos, is that your full name?
Yes.
How you doing, Ms. Cobos?
Yes.
That's good. Ms. Cobos, you're represented in your case by your attorney, Peter Dole. Attorney Dole, how are you doing?
Pretty fair, good.
And the state is represented in this case by Attorney Haley Simmons. Attorney Simmons, how are you doing?
I'm good, Judge. Thank you.
Okay. Now, Ms. Simmons, you like to, now this case is set on the court's jury trial docket on the day's date, June 9th, 2025. And actually, this is the only case that we have left that is on the court's docket. And Mr. Dole,
Yes,
what is your announcement?
we're ready. I mean, well,
And state,
Yes, Your Honor. The state's filed a motion for continuance under Code of Criminal Procedure 2904. This was filed on May 20th, 2025 to inform the court that a material witness would not be available for trial this week. So the state is asking that that continuance be granted.
Ms. Jet, at least. Ms. Bulkhead, would you give me a copy of that motion? I see a motion on May 20th, 2025. Okay, you could bring it up, but I'm looking at it. I have before me a state's motion for continuance. Show that it was filed on May 20th, 2025. Says material witness for the state named that Angel Compost is unavailable to testify for the week of June the 9th. This information received by the district attorney's office on May 19th of 2025. The trial, necessary witness. Is Angel Campos the lab?
No, Your
person
Honor,
that's-
he's actually the officer and he notified me he'd be out from May 30th to June 13th for military training and he's out of state. And
Oh,
it is a two-witness case.
Actually, he has a. So he's on military training
Yes, Your Honor.
and Angel Campos is unavailable until May 30th through June 13th of next week. Okay. And this is the state's first motion for continuance?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Okay, the court is gonna grant.
Your Honor.
There is something, you could get off the record. I think there's a Soldier and Sailor Relief Act also that could have been alleged. I know they do it a lot in the civil courts. Somebody's on active duty.
Oh, regarding his training
Yeah.
for military.
I know I know it's a code, it's a civil Well, I know that in civil cases, they usually cite as a Soldier Sailors Relief Act. I hadn't seen one in a long time, but I remember there is one. So that the motion is gonna be granted. Now, we need to get this case set. Um, this case is only it's 386 days old. So it's not a one that we would automatically give a number one setting. But it's not one that we normally just give because they are older cases. But I mean, if it comes up on the docket and whatever docket it comes up on, if this is the oldest case, it's probably gonna go.
We'll show up.
Oh, I understand that. I'm just letting you know. I'm just saying sometimes people say, Judge, I need a number one setting.
I have no knowledge of anything said in the next 6 weeks in any federal court.
Or district court,
I
yeah.
Anything said in.
Or in a smaller
state-
county.
state court.
Yeah, so we kind of a little bit behind
And I
it.
could want to do it next 2 weeks, but after that, I don't care. I
We
wouldn't wanna
we
do
would
it
still
the-
need 30 days to get contact with witnesses and whatnot.
Okay.
Yeah, you could get the panel in.
We excuse.
You excuse.
Mhm.
Mm.
Is the state released or would you have?
Yeah. If you want to say you can, if not, you are released. Right here. Yeah, that area back there. Y'all can sit anywhere.
Okay. You all right? You got it. Well, hasn't moved, has it? No, I don't think so.
Okay, you may be seated. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Judge Terrence L. Holmes. I'm presiding judge here in County Court at Law Number 2. You have been asked to come to court today to serve as a juror in a criminal case. It was a misdemeanor case. Now, the reason why we asked you to come in now is because the cases that were on the docket, and when I use the term docket, what I'm talking about, we have a list of cases. We have 15 cases set on our jury trial docket today. And so we had one case that was specially set number one. That case was to go and to be tried, the number one case. However, the lawyer on that case is also set number one in a district court, which is right next door. One, he can't be in two places at the same time. And two, district courts have priority over county court at law. And so he had to be in the district court, and that case is they're picking a jury as I speak. And so we are unable to go in that case. And he not only had that case on the docket, but he had, I think, 3 or 4 other cases on our trial docket today. So if that case didn't go, we would have had to go on some other cases. And then if you notice that while you were outside, you saw people coming in and out. And the reason why they was coming in and out is because while you were outside, we was handling business on the inside. And we've had some cases that was disposed of. Some cases had to be continued. Another case that I can think about, a lawyer he's also in trial, not next door, but in another county. Smaller counties have priorities over the large counties. So I think he's in Hardin County. Hardin County is a smaller county than Jefferson County, and so they have priority over us. So he was picking a jury this morning in Hardin County. And then we had another case that was set for a jury trial that case, the defendant and his attorney decided that they did not want to have a jury trial. They want a trial, but they want to have what we call a bench trial. That is a trial by judge only. So in that case, which is set on Wednesday of this week, I will be the judge and the jury in the case. Okay, I will listen to all of the evidence, listen to the arguments of the attorneys, and then I'll apply the facts to the law and decide whether to find the person not guilty or guilty. And so all of the cases that we had on our trial docket was disposed in one way or another, either by, it's going to be disposed by bench trial, going to be disposed by cases was continued, and a few cases were dismissed. And then I don't know if we had some pleas this morning. Pleas is like when a person pled guilty. I don't know if they were on the trial docket or whatever was on one of our other two dockets. We had an announcement docket and we had a pretrial conference docket. And so in essence, ladies and gentlemen, I know that you may be disappointed, but do not be disappointed, because the fact that you showed up here this afternoon, that enabled us to move cases. And I'll explain myself. You know, a lot of times individuals say they want a trial. One, the state can make what we call an offer. An offer is a way to settle the case. They can offer a person probation or a minimum amount of jail time or a fine. And then the person, if they accept the offer, we call that an agreed plea bargain. We call that a plea bargain. If they do not accept it, then they have a right to have a trial. They can have a trial by judge or by jury. And it is not uncommon for individuals to have a change of heart on the day of trial. And the reason why they may have a change of heart is because a lot of times some people say, you know, I want a trial because I think the jury is not going to show up. So I want a trial. So if the jury don't show up, they got to have to dismiss my case. Or maybe the witness, they think the witness is not going to show up. But on days like today, when people like you take time out from your busy schedules to show up, they see the jury and they say, you know what? That offer that the state made to me a few weeks ago, a few months ago, it looks pretty good right now. And the cases get moved. Okay. And so it was because of your presence and because of you taking time out from your busy schedules to be here, you help us to move cases from our docket. And on behalf of the citizens of Jefferson County, behalf of the staff here in County Court at Law Number 2, I'd like to thank you for doing that, from taking time out from your busy schedules. Now, I know that when you came here this afternoon, I saw a couple of you sitting outside when I was coming back from getting a sandwich downstairs. When you looked over the door, you probably said, oh, I'm in the right place. This is Judge Holmes' court. Well, this is not my court. I'm only an humble public servant servicing the citizens of Jefferson County. You are the citizens of Jefferson County. This courtroom and this courthouse belongs to you, to all of the citizens of Jefferson County. So I've said that to say this. Anytime you're in this area, Jefferson County Courthouse, County Court at Law Number 2, you can come and have a seat in your courtroom. That area that you're sitting in, we call that the peanut gallery. But it doesn't mean you can bring peanuts in here and eat, because this is not the Texas Roadhouse. But you can come and have a seat in your courtroom and see what goes on in Jefferson County. And I would assure you that you will find it to be very interesting. Now, you see some people sitting in the jury box. They are prosecutors. They are assistant criminal district attorneys that work for the Honorable Giblin, Honor Judge Giblin, who is our DA. They are assistant criminal district attorneys in this courtroom. We have on the back row, we have Andrew Hubel. We have Mr. Shane Hilton. And we have somebody else coming in the door. We also have Haley Simmons. And we have Kyle Gasper. She is also the assistant criminal district attorney. Now, if we would have went to trial, you would have saw a defense attorney here as well as his client. They usually sit in that chair that's before you. Now, you've already met our bailiff, Ms. Brenda Mosby, and right behind me to my left, we have Miss Ada Christie. Some of you may not be able to see her, but she's the court reporter. She's typing down everything that's being said. And now in County Court at Law number 2, just for you who may be interested, we handle misdemeanor cases. Criminal cases are divided into felonies or misdemeanors. Your felony cases are your more serious type cases, and they are handled in the district court. The misdemeanor cases are normally referred to as your petty offense. Does not mean that they're not serious. It just means that they're not as serious as a felony case. And when I use the term serious, what I'm talking about the facts of the case and a possible punishment that a person can receive if they are convicted. Now, if a person is convicted of a felony cases are divided into 5 categories. We'll start at the top, work our way on down to the bottom. You have the capital murder, first degree felony, second degree felony, third degree felony, and the state jail felony. If a person is convicted of a state jail felony, the range of punishment is minimum 6 months to a maximum of 2 years in the state jail, and a fine that does not exceed $10,000. If a person is convicted of a third degree felony, the range of punishment is minimum 2 years to a maximum of 10 years in the state penitentiary, and a fine that does not exceed $10,000. If a person is convicted of a second degree felony, the range of punishment is minimum 2 years to a maximum of 20 years, and a fine that does not exceed $10,000. If a person is convicted of a first degree felony, the range of punishment is minimum 5 years to maximum 99 years or life in the state penitentiary, and a fine that does not exceed $10,000. If a person is convicted of a capital murder, which is the highest felony, the range of punishment, if they are convicted, is life in the state penitentiary without the possibility of parole or death by lethal injection. We don't handle those type cases. We cannot give those type punishment. However, in misdemeanor court, misdemeanors are divided into 3 categories. We'll start at the top, work our way on down to the bottom. You have the Class A misdemeanor, Class B misdemeanor, and Class C misdemeanor. If a person is convicted of a Class C misdemeanor, in those cases normally start in the city court or the JP court, and a person gets convicted, they appeal the case, it comes to this court, they get a whole new trial. If they are convicted, the range of punishment is a fine that cannot exceed $500. Now, if a person is convicted of a Class B misdemeanor, the range of punishment is minimum 6 months to a maximum of, well, the minimum is 0 days to a maximum of 6 months, which is 180 days in the county jail, or a fine that does not exceed $2,000, or they could be given both such fine and confinement. Now, if a person is convicted of the highest misdemeanor, the range of punishment is minimum 0 days to a maximum of 365 days, which is a year in the county jail, or a fine that does not exceed $4,000, or they could be given both such fine and confinement. Now, a person could be eligible for probation. There are 2 types of probation. One type is called unadjudicated probation, and the other type is called adjudicated probation. With the unadjudicated probation, it does not result in a conviction on their record. With the adjudicated probation, it does result in a conviction on their record. Now, those are the cases that we handle here. We handle DWIs first or DWIs second. A DWI second is a Class A misdemeanor. DWI first, for the most part, is a Class B misdemeanor unless they have a blood alcohol concentration level of 0.15 or more. Then it goes up to a Class A misdemeanor. We also do a lot of cases we do in this court. We have assaults. Somebody's assaulting a family member, or they're assaulting, hitting somebody else who's not related to them, or they're not married to them. We just call those simple assaults. They are Class A misdemeanors. Our Class B misdemeanors are like, for example, somebody being at a store, they tell them to leave the property, they don't leave. That's called criminal trespass. That's a Class B misdemeanor. Our Class C misdemeanors are mostly traffic tickets, speeding, not wearing your seatbelt, having an expired sticker. Those are normally Class C misdemeanors. Now, our bailiff, Ms. Mosby, she has letters for you. And if you need any excuses, our district clerk's office is open. They don't close, I think today, maybe at 5 p.m. And so you can get an excuse if you need an excuse. Now, at this time, again, I'd like to thank each and every one of you for coming down here today. To be ready for trial, but as I told you earlier, all our cases was disposed of one way or another, and that our bench trial will start on Wednesday at 1 o'clock. If you are interested in seeing what's going on in that case, you can either appear here in person, sit in that area we call that the peanut gallery, or you can watch the case on YouTube. Okay. Anybody have any questions? Okay. Again, ladies and gentlemen, before I let you go, I usually give everyone a handshake. We still have COVID in our community. However, I like to give everyone what I call an air handshake. Okay. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for coming, and y'all have a blessed day. And this will conclude the calling of the court's pretrial conference docket, court's announcement docket, and the jury trial docket in County Court at Law Number 2 of Jefferson County, Texas, on today's date, June 9th, 2025. Everyone, please have a blessed day. Prosecutors, you are excused.